Welcome to the Build Your Coaching Business Around the 9 to 5 podcast. I'm your coach, Pamella Pritchard, and I help you go from employee to business owner. Whether you're creating your first client or learning how to create clients on repeat whilst holding down your day job, I'll help you make your business dreams a reality. Let's begin. I'm jumping on today because we are about to begin the strategy sessions inside Thrive Group. And the first thing that we are discussing is your offer, your coaching offer, because if you don't have something to sell, then you're not going to sell anything. So that's naturally the first place that we go to. And it's one of the core business fundamentals. Hi, Sahura. Thanks for joining. And it is something that I see plenty of coaches come to me with. It's always the first thing that I like to review when I have a new one-to-one client. Obviously, we're doing it inside group. It's like the first thing that we do, obviously beyond CEO embodiment, which I'll be speaking about in a second. And the reason that I do this is because, you need something to sell, but also it's always such a good indicator to me about where your mindset is at with your business, where your level of confidence is at, where your level of conviction is at, where you are fully owning your authority in whatever niche you work in. And I always get messages from clients, people saying to me, can you help me with my niche? I'm having niche drama. I don't know whether to do this or that. I don't know whether this offer is working or whether there's a better offer out there. And I'm always so intrigued to hear the flavor of thoughts that come through from coaches about their offer. It can often be like, no one's buying, it's not working, they can't afford this, it's the wrong client, I'm marketing to the wrong people, does anybody want this? Or other people are doing it better than me, so what's the point of me doing it? And honestly, like this, if you've thought any flavor of those thoughts, you're not going to be selling, if at all, to be honest with you, or anywhere near the volume that you would like to be. Let's face it, my clients come to me because they want to be earning money as a life coach. They want to be signing anything from 2 to 5 clients per month, and some even more. And you're getting nothing, getting crickets. And it doesn't matter how much you are showing up to sell. It doesn't matter how much you're working on your hooks, working on your captions, working on your content, working on getting visible. If you have any wobbles about the audience being there, the audience that you have wanting what you have, if you have any wobbles around the fact that people can't afford your coaching, they're not going to want to spend money on this transformation, that you don't think that you understand the transformation even that you help your clients with, then of course that's why you're coming up against it. So when we go through the offer aspect inside Thrive Group tomorrow, there are 8 core components of an offer that I'm going to be taking my clients through. And if you're missing any one of these 8, then yes, you are probably missing something in your core messaging. You're also going to be missing something in your belief. And you're also just going to be missing something in your personal understanding and personal advocacy for what you help your clients with. Because you need to be prepared. And this is why it matters. You need to be prepared. You need to be willing, and you need to be capable of talking about your offer very clearly to your potential client, whether that's in the DMs, whether that's on a consult, it doesn't matter. But wherever you're actually having those conversations with people and inviting them in to work with you, if you're not able to speak to each of these 8 key components that I take my clients through to create their offers, then naturally you're going to be missing something. So most coaches come to me and they know the length, they know the duration. And even then I hear wobbles like, oh, should it be 6 months? Should it be 3 months? Should I do it weekly? Should I do it bi-weekly? These questions are immediately putting you on the back foot, and they're immediately putting you in a position of, I'm not convicted in my offer. So please validate me by just saying yes so that I can feel confident about what I'm selling you. It doesn't work that way. No wonder people aren't buying. So if you're not owning, even as the bare basics, like this is step one, the bare basics of how long you want to work with your clients and the way that you're going to work with them and what you're going to include, then you're already making it harder for yourself to sell. I see lots of coaches go in circles about, oh, I need a program for it to be worth it. I need to create all these training materials. I need to add meditations. I need to add homework. I need to add workbooks. And one thing I always remind my clients is that people don't want extra work unnecessarily. So anything that you add into your coaching needs to be relevant, it needs to be essential. And there are some things that are going to be more information dense. There are some niches out there that really benefit from the more they can get, the better it is going to be for the client. But you always have to balance that with what is the minimum viable product? So, meaning, what is the most essential thing that they need in order to get the transformation? And what's also going to be easy on you? Because let's face it, 80% of my clients are in a 9 to 5. They have a family, they have a busy life. Like nobody just hangs around with nothing to do all day, hoping to fill it with coaching. People are busy. You're busy. You have a job, you have a life to live. So your clients are the same. They're busy. They have a job, they have a life to live, and they don't want to be adding more homework in order to get the result. They want to hire you. And if you're going to be charging them like 3, 4 figures to get the result, then you need to make it as simple as possible. But your brain doesn't want to offer you that. Your brain sees, oh, well, Pamella's Thrive Group program has a training program of like 80 trainings. Mine needs that too to be worth it. No, I'm in the niche of business. There's a huge knowledge and skill gap that most coaches come to me with. Is there a knowledge and skill gap when it comes to transformational life coaching and emotional wealth? No, they just need to get coaching. They need to experience it. They need to experience the coaching for themselves. Is training a value add? Potentially, yeah. Like you can absolutely spin it that way. There's always more information to be had. But honestly, in the world of AI, in the world of Google, in the world of YouTube, in the world of free podcasts and books, is it actually more information they need and more homework that they don't want to do, that they don't already have time for? Because if it was enough, then the free podcast would have been enough. No, it is one-on-one time with you as their coach. So this is just one of the 8 things, really looking at your offer from a very discerning lens and really asking yourself, is this what creates the value? Is this what creates the transformation? And I don't say this to stop you from creating big and beautiful things. Creating intellectual property in your business is going to be a natural part of your business's evolution. It's inevitable. I think many coaches intentionally find their way into creating programs and groups and evergreen products and things to download as add ons. But when you go into it from the energy of, in order to make this valuable, I need to add all this extra shit into it, then what you're effectively saying is, I don't think my coaching is valuable enough all by itself. So I'm going to have to do all this extra work in order for my clients to see the value. When really it's you that doesn't see the value because you haven't sold yourself on your own offer. So this is what we do inside Thrive Group. When I take you through the 8 components, you're going to see and have to get your brain engaged to actually identify what it is that you do that your clients need. You're going to be identifying exactly what the transformation is, exactly what their challenges are, and exactly how you are specifically equipped to help them. So that when you go and market and sell, when you're going out to write your message, when you're out there meeting people, having conversations, when you're having sales conversations, when you're having consults, you actually have every angle covered so that when they say to you, oh gosh, that is expensive, you don't suddenly go into a spiral and go, oh my God, they can't afford it, they don't want this, when they're just making a comment and they go, it is expensive, but they're secretly thinking, and I really fucking need this, and I really fucking want this. And actually, The price gives me confidence that this is where I need to be. But they don't say that. And in the silence, in the gap, what you make that mean becomes either the thing that makes it or the thing that breaks it. If somebody says to you, oh, but I'm really busy, I don't have time to do workbooks, I don't have time to do the training. Someone says that to me about Thrive Group, I'm like, yeah, no worries. Then you're not going to be suitable for this coaching. You want to build a business, there's a huge skill and knowledge gap that you're probably going to have to plug in. So yeah, if you're not prepared to make time to watch a few training videos so that you can learn how to message, how to run a consult, how to do a launch, how to manage your own mind, then absolutely Thrive Group isn't the place for you. No problem. Come back to me when you're ready, or go find somebody else that just does one-to-one coaching if that's what you would prefer. I respect that. There's no judgment, and this isn't the space for you. And when a client also says to me, oh gosh, I don't have time, that is a lot of training. And I say to them, yeah, that's fine. Is that something you're willing to do? And they go, actually, I'm ready to make time. I want to make time to learn this. I want to make time to plug this skill and knowledge gap, because actually I am prioritizing this. This is where I want to go. This is who I want to be. This is my vision, my mission, my purpose. Then I go, well, fucking A, this is the place for you then. And I designed it in that way for a purpose. So when you craft your offer and you know every single reason and you love every single reason for creating your offer in exactly the way you did for exactly the person that needs it, when someone shies away from that or has a moment of hesitation about, oh, can I do that? Do I want this? Is this right for me? And you actually hold that as a level, as a standard, then that invites them to either self-qualify and rise to it and say, absolutely, this is where I want to be, or it gives you permission to lovingly release them and let them go on their merry way. And it's not a problem. It's not a value judgment against them. It doesn't mean anything about you. It just means that somebody was window shopping and they popped in. It didn't connect with what they were looking for. And that's never an issue, because you're so convicted, you're so powerful, you're so clear in what your offer is about, who it's for, who's going to get the benefit from it, how you want to run it, and you love your reasons for running it in that specific way, that when the right person comes along, it's like, yep, bada bing, bada boom, and here you go. So this is what we're going to be doing in the strategy session tomorrow. And there is still time to join if you are watching this literally within, what time is it now? 8 o'clock. So if you are watching this within 10 hours of this going live, there is time for you to join the Thrive group, get in the strategy session. I'll take you and guide you through the 8-step process to create your offer. And by this time tomorrow, your offer will be literally 50%, if not 80% more refined, 50 to 80% more clear, and you will be 50 to 80% more convicted in what you're about, who your offer is for, eliminated all the niche drama because you got so clear on your offer, and you will be in such a stronger position to just go out there and actually start marketing and selling. This doesn't matter if you are in a position where you're like, I need to fully refine, I need to fully realign, I need to actually just have a blank slate, pretend that I didn't do anything last year and just come into this and go, you know what? I'm going to do this my way. And I'm going to just look at this with a fresh pair of eyes and say to myself, who do I really want to serve? What do I really want to do? How do I really want to do this thing? And create something from scratch. That's beautiful if that's where you're at. And also, if you're in a position of like, actually, I've been selling this thing for a while, I have had a few clients go through it, I do feel pretty clear and confident, and I want to take it to the next level. I want to deepen my embodiment. I want to level up my conviction. I want to take everything I know and freaking solidify it. I want to take that soldering iron and actually turn this like marshmallow of an idea into beautiful gold statue. I am ready. I am ready to claim it. I'm ready to own it. Whichever side of the pitch you fall, both are perfect. And there is space for either of you. I have clients coming from both angles in the group right now. And if you're also listening to this slightly late and you're like, fuck, I've missed the window to join Thrive Group, can I get into the next round? Then drop me a DM and we'll see what we can arrange. And there's always also, of course, one-to-one. And if you're just the kind of person who likes to just do this one-to-one, then that's also available to you too. But creating your offer is the critical first step to selling and making money as a life coach. And if you find yourself in that place of like, no one's buying, they can't afford this, I don't think my clients want this, other people are doing it better, then any decision that you make from that space is a decision made of fear. Because the fear is getting to you. The fear is causing you to second guess yourself. It's causing you to go back to the offer you had and want to make changes and amendments. And the really difficult thing is knowing and having the intimacy with yourself about recognizing whether or not that is a misalignment from just purely the fear, or if it's actually a misalignment that's also coming from a genuine misalignment, meaning you're putting a lot of eggs in this basket, but if you're really honest with yourself, if you really drop into your body, if you really connect to your truth, your wanting, your vision of who you get to become and the impact you get to make in this world and the people you get to impact and the things that you talk about and the things that just naturally want to come alive in you, and you find that that isn't what your current offer is, then changes need to be made. And you can trust that those changes are coming from an aligned place, even if there is a flavor of fear coming through it as well. And this is something I help my clients with a lot, because there are going to be seasons in your business where you may have a couple of months where you don't make as much as you're used to making, or you may have a couple of months where you get zero and nothing comes in. Who are you then? Do you stick to those aligned decisions, or does the fear get the better of you and cause you to change? When you look at your 2024 and you look, or when if you're listening to this in the future, if you think back to the last 12 months and you think back to all the offers that you had, all the little changes you made, all the ways that you tweaked your messaging, all the ways that you decided to change your branding, all the ways that you decided to change the length of your offer, the price of your offer, who your client was, what problems you wanted to speak about, the transformation you speak about, even the modalities that you prioritize in your coaching. Were those changes coming from a place of, oh, well, this isn't working, so something needs to change? Or was it coming from a place of, oh my God, this is alive in me? Now, one of my clients really beautifully said to me earlier today, I feel like I take a lot of detours in my life. And there is also nothing wrong with that. There is so much wisdom, so much magic to be had in allowing yourself to be where you are, even when you need to course correct. Sometimes life is going to take us on a detour. And the reason is because there were side quests that you needed to complete. Any of my gamers here, if you know me, if you've been in my world a little while, you'll know that I quite enjoy gaming once in a while. And a good game will always have the main plot, and then it has these little side quests. And it's interesting because there's always a stage in the main plot where you have to divert from the main storyline and actually go do a few side quests, because there's a few skills that you needed to acquire. There is a few weapons that you needed to acquire. There were a few bosses that you needed to defeat, a few demons that you had to overcome in order to finish the main story. So if you find that that happens to you sometimes, that you get diverted into the quest, into the side quest, it's never an issue. If you found that you were getting distracted with like a micro offer or a little group program or some kind of, I don't know, PDF that you wanted to make, or some kind of side quest that you got distracted with, I don't want you to use this episode against you. I want you to recognize how actually that was something that you had to do, and it gets to be part of your story. It gets to be one of the side quests that you completed, where you acquired a new weapon, a new skill, a new belief, new experience, new wisdom, and now you get to bring that back to the main story and carry on as you mean to go on. So remember, never use your side quests against yourself. Never use your failures against yourself. Never use the changes that you are making, again, about your offer against yourself. and instead recognize how you had to go through that path in order to find the offer that you're about to create. And whether or not you join Thrive Group and you come and do this work with me, or whether you're doing this alone or with other people, always remember, it starts with a solid offer. Your solid offer is the thing that's going to get you the clients. And sure, it is possible a world exists where you go out there, you market and sell, and you just get in front of people and then you don't have anything to sell them until you're in the conversation. You can do that. That does exist. It is totally possible. I'm always going to be very upfront and honest with you. It's not that my way is the best way. It's not that my way is the only way. The reason I teach the offer first approach, the reason why I continue to teach this way of having your business fundamentals in place first, so that you know what you're going out in the world with, that you have an anchor point, that you have something to sell and actually communicate, is because when I come across a coach who hasn't defined their offer, it actually leaves, I tend to find more often than not, that it tends to leave you a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit lost for words, a little bit unsure what you're marketing and selling because you don't really know what you're communicating. So you need to have the thing in order to sell something naturally. That to me just comes so naturally. The clients who gravitate towards me like this approach. By all means, try it. By all means, just go out into the world with nothing specific to sell and just talk about what is alive in you. That's beautiful. And you probably will create a following. You will create an audience. You will create people who know, like, and trust you. But will they buy from you? Well, maybe, but probably not if they don't have anything to buy. It's like the difference between, I don't know, going to the museum and going to a shop. And even then, museums have shops because people don't just want to look around and be delighted. They like that. But how often have you gone to the museum and the shop is the busiest freaking part of the whole place? Like, really, guys? Come on. People like to know what they can take home, what they can have, what the transformation actually is. So I'll wrap it there. I've given you lots of food for thought. There's a lot to think about here. But if you know that you have any kind of offer wobble, or if you love your offer, but you want to take it to the next level, you want to really refine it and really, really put your mark on it, really put your stamp on it, really find the thing that makes you different to everyone else, especially if you're in the kind of field where you do have a bit of a generic niche like mine, like you're a business coach and you're like, well, what makes me any different to what anyone else does? If you're a relationship coach and you're like, well, there's a million relationship coaches out there, what do I do? If you're a career coach, what makes you distinct as a career coach? If you're a life coach, even, what makes you distinct as a life coach? If for you, you're very clear on the offer, but for you, it's actually that differentiation point, the thing that makes you the coach of choice, then this 8-step process will make it very simple for you. Come and join us. I'm going to put the link in the comments here or the caption or whatever. I'm also going to put it in the show notes if you're listening to the podcast, and get in the room. Yes, if you've missed it, don't worry. It's not going to be the one and only time I run Thrive. There will be future enrollments. So drop me a DM and we can have a chat about it. But I'm excited for you. This is the first step. Going to sell more, create more clients this year. We're going to get clear and you're going to get solid and you're going to get convicted and confident in your offer. And it starts with this: making decisions about your offer from a place of alignment and not from fear. Let me know in the comments if this was useful. Drop me a DM if you're listening on the podcast if this was useful, and I'll see you in the next live or episode.